right, here we go, live from Studio G, fighting for you from the foxhole freedom, jumping into another brand new hour. This is a warning, though. The Steve Gruber Show can often result in extended periods of American pride and optimism and enthusiasm for the future of this great country. Kicking off the live broadcast day on Real America's Voice and MTN and reaching a growing global audience, this is the Steve Gruber Show, a no-panic zone. Here are three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, we're learning that the jobs numbers put out by the Biden administration over many years were simply made up. Fact is, they lied to us to make the economy seem better when it wasn't. We know it. Number two, David Hogg, the far-left activist and current DNC co-chair, says he is getting railroaded out of the party leadership after only a few weeks, and he says it's not right. And number three, President Trump is on his intense Middle East tour. It began Tuesday morning in Saudi Arabia with a blistering condemnation of those that thought they could impose their will on the region through wars and intervention. And the president says those days are over. And yes, he's referring to previous American presidents and administrations and those from other countries, France, Germany, the UK, you name it. You can't just go and impose your will on another nation. Listen to this.
Before our eyes, a new generation of leaders is transcending the ancient conflicts of tired divisions of the past and forging a future where the Middle East is defined by commerce, not chaos, where it exports technology, not terrorism, and where people of different nations, religions, and creeds are building cities together, not bombing each other out of existence. We don't want that. And it's crucial for the wider world to note this great transformation has not come from Western interventionists or flying people in beautiful planes giving you lectures on how to live and how to govern your own affairs. No, the gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi were not created by the so-called nation builders, neocons, or liberal nonprofits like those who spent trillions and trillions of dollars failing to develop Kabul, Baghdad, so many other cities. Instead, the birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves, the people that are right here, the people that have lived here all their lives, developing your own sovereign countries, pursuing your own unique visions and charting your own destinies in your own way. It's really incredible what you've done. In the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and the interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand themselves. They told you how to do it, but they had no idea how to do it themselves.
Yeah. It was a bit long, I realize, but it was important to understand that he laid it all out there. It's time for the Middle East to rise. Peace, prosperity. Exporting high-tech, not terrorism. One of the lines he used. President Trump made quite clear, however, there is one country that will not be allowed to continue on the path it is on. That nation, of course, is Iran. Listen to this.
But with that said, Iran can have a much brighter future, but will never allow America and its allies to be threatened with terrorism or nuclear attack. The choice is theirs to make. We really want them to be a successful country. We want them to be a wonderful, safe, great country. But they cannot have a nuclear weapon. This is an offer that will not last forever. The time is right now for them to choose. Right now, we don't have a lot of time to wait.
And Donald Trump is now, just moments ago, wheels up. He is off the ground in Saudi Arabia on his way to Qatar, where he will be for the next day. Of course, that's where the plane is being offered. The 747-8, the $400 million palace in the sky that has created some concern, and I won't deny it, it's created some concern for me, but the president returning fire by saying, my attitude is, why wouldn't I accept the gift? He said that to Sean Hannity in an interview. Now, some people say, oh, you shouldn't accept gifts from the country. My attitude is, why wouldn't I accept the gift? We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept the gift, he said to Sean Hannity. The luxury jet offered to the United States because of delays in Boeing's production of the new Air Force One fleet will serve potentially as a temporary method of transportation so the current presidential plane doesn't have to be flown. Air Force One is almost 40 years old. It looks much less impressive when compared to planes in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar, he says. So he's on his way to Qatar. Now, back to the issue of Iran. State sponsor of terrorism. He extended an olive branch to Iran, says, let's talk. And that's the point of this whole trip. It's the worldwide peace initiative of 2025. That's what it is. Donald Trump going from place to place in search of peace in the Middle East, hoping to expand the Abraham Accords. This is good news. The Abraham Accords would have had other people on board, other countries on board, if Donald Trump had been elected in 2020, which we can debate another time. You understand my point. If he had taken office in January of 2021, the Abraham Accords would have expanded. But instead, Joe Biden came into office, his presidency marked by ineptitude and auto pens. That's correct. Open borders, high inflation, ineptitude, and auto pens. That was the administration of Joe Biden. That's how it is defined. Puppet masters and the puppet. Here's that olive branch to Iran. I want you to understand that. He offered an olive branch to Iran, offering a new path forward, maybe even a friendship to come. Listen to this.
Yet I'm here today not merely to condemn the past chaos of Iran's leaders, but to offer them a new path and a much better path toward a far better and more hopeful future. As I've shown repeatedly, I am willing to end past conflicts and forge new partnerships for a better and more stable world, even if our differences may be very profound, which obviously they are in the case of Iran. I have never believed in having permanent enemies. I am different than a lot of people think. I don't like permanent enemies, but sometimes you need enemies to do the job, and you have to do it right. Enemies get you motivated. In fact, some of the closest friends of the United States of America are nations we fought wars against in generations past, and now they're our friends and our allies.
Making the point that Japan and Germany, after bitter, years-long wars, became our closest allies. It's true, at least Japan is still. Germany, well, nobody quite knows what happens when socialism poisons a country. But the president said he is ready to work with every nation in the Middle East. Like I said, the plane, Air Force One, on its way as we speak to Qatar. Not a long flight, but he'll be there before this broadcast is over for sure. We'll continue digging into everything he said yesterday because there's more from this successful trip. By the way, he got a $600 billion investment guarantee from Saudi Arabia. Could be $1 trillion into the United States. Quite an investment. We'll continue talking about it here on the Steve Gruber Show in just a moment. Back to it. Like I said, the president said he will work with every nation in the Middle East, including Lebanon and the war-torn nation of Syria. Here's more. Listen to this.
Likewise, in Syria, which has seen so much misery and death, there is a new government that will hopefully succeed in stabilizing the country and keeping peace. That's what we want to see in Syria. They've had their share of travesty war, killing, many years. That's why my administration has already taken the first steps toward restoring normal relations between the United States and Syria for the first time in more than a decade. And I'm very pleased to announce that Secretary Marco Rubio will be meeting with the new Syrian foreign minister in Turkey later this week, and very importantly, after discussing the situation in Syria with the Crown Prince, your Crown Prince, and also with President Erdogan of Turkey, who called me the other day and asked for a very similar thing, among others, and friends of mine, people that I have a lot of respect for in the Middle East, I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness.
Yeah. It is one great step after another, and this is just the latest in a series of successes for this president, because finally he delivered a message of hope, of peace and hope. The leader of the free world and a man who really should win a Nobel Peace Prize if he is, listen to me, tomorrow, President Zelensky of Ukraine will sit down face-to-face with President Putin of Russia. They'll do that in Turkey, a meeting orchestrated and facilitated by Donald Trump and Marco Rubio. He secured the release of the last American hostage from October 7th, 2023. He has put in place a fragile ceasefire between between India and Pakistan. Every place you look, he's willing to make a deal. He said he will reduce all of the restrictions on Syria, provided Syria gets rid of terrorists. All the sanctions will be lifted, willing to work for a better future. He will work with Lebanon, he said. He will work with anyone and everyone in pursuit of peace. If that's true and he gets more people on board with the Abraham Accords, Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Here's how he put the bow on all of it. Listen.
This region, seize this moment, put aside your differences and focus on the interests that unite you, then all of humanity will soon be amazed at what they will see right here in this geographic center of the world. It really is. It's like a center of the world and the spiritual heart of its greatest faiths.
Yeah. Spiritual center of the world. Now, foreign policy being just a part of his success thus far. I'm going to go into this a bit deeper, a little bit in a few minutes, but 152 executive orders through yesterday. 152 executive orders through yesterday. 39 memos. 54 proclamations. The highest of any president in this time frame, surpassing Franklin Roosevelt's record. These cover immigration, trade, deregulation, and government restructuring. It's been a reordering not just of American government, but of the world economy too, and of the world order as he brings in these countries. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, maybe Iran, maybe Lebanon, maybe Syria. Willing to work with anyone to forge new alliances, to create a new opportunity for peace, to create a new way forward. This is remarkable territory. The Democrats don't have to give him a nod of approval because we, the American people, are doing that. If he delivers peace in Ukraine, in India, in Gaza, in Syria, and finds a path forward with Iran to eliminate the pursuit of nuclear weapons, these are remarkable accomplishments. These are not average accomplishments. These are monumental achievements. And whether they will tell you the truth on the other side doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they will tell you the truth on the other side. Because I am telling you the truth on this side. Border security, economic, government efficiency, energy deregulation, foreign policy, national security, social and cultural policies, pardons and legal actions, drops of border crossings by 99%. Well, did you ever think you'd hear that? No, you didn't. Let's be clear about that. So, in a moment here, we're going to go through this list in more detail. In more detail. And I want you to think about this. Capitalism has produced the greatest increase in human wealth, living standards, and overall flourishing. That's a fact. But if you ask 10 people to define capitalism, you're going to get a whole host of different answers because people don't know. Do you understand it? Do you know what it means? For the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker, do you understand? Look, it's an easy thing to figure out. You go to Hillsdale College. 40 free online courses. These are great. Instead of binge watching Netflix, come binge watch Hillsdale and learn something. That's what we've been doing lately. It's kind of cool. Free subjects on the Constitution, Roman Republic, Genesis, understanding capitalism. Yeah, GruberForHillsdale.com. GruberForHillsdale.com. It's all free. Go sign up. Be the coolest guy at the get-together this Friday night. All right? Go learn something. GruberForHillsdale.com. You're going to appreciate it when you... These are so well done. It's better than Netflix or any of that other crap you binge watch. GruberForHillsdale.com. I'll be right back.